Hello there! Chatbots and voice assistants are one of the most important tools in today's and especially in tomorrow's world, but who are the people behind them, the people that make them work? My name is Eran Soroka, Head of Marketing Operations for CoCoHub Conversational Components, and today our special guest comes from the City of Angels. Jeanna Isham is sonic brander and composer for Dreamr Productions in Los Angeles. How are you, Jeanna?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So how did you get to sound design? What is a sonic brander?
Well, I started in composition, and so I have a degree in music composition, and I wanted to be the next John Williams, but that turns out to be really hard. And so I got into production music, which is like if you watch TV, like reality TV shows, it's all that music that they just like pump in at every second of every moment. So I got into production music and didn't really like it because I like to work on projects, getting, you need to write this and I'm looking for this exactly. And production music was just write something that goes on Duck Dynasty. And that didn't work for me. I needed a little bit more information. And so I just happened to work with a brand and they were looking for a piece of functional sound. So their piece of hardware, it needed an on-off sound. And so I created that for them. And I've just kind of been doing it ever since. And I love it because I get to actually try and come up with a personification sound for a company, which I feel is way more beneficial. And I just like it a lot more. And it lasts. If it's done right, then it's going to be a part of that company culture for a long time.
Yeah, so how can music make a conversational experience better for the brand and maybe even for the user?
Well, I would like to change that from how can music change to how can sound
Hmm,
make a difference.
okay.
And sound can make a huge difference because if you think about it, bad sound is you can't go back from that. If you have bad sound in the development of your product, people are not going to come back. Or if they do, they're going to be hesitant. But if you have good sound, they will come back, and really good sound you don't even notice, and that's good sound right there. So if you can make sure that your product is making good sound, that one, they won't notice it and they'll come back. And I guess that's about it.
Okay. Do you have a use case in which the right sound design helped the brand thrive?
I think that because I use a lot of different examples and I try and change it up. So I think a really good example is Coca-Cola with their pop and fizz sounds.
Hmm,
So not even the music that they use in their campaigns, but just that like pop and fizz sound. I don't know about you, but I hear that and then I get thirsty.
Yeah,
It's
I
very,
don't
very
drink Coke. Yeah.
effective. But it's very effective because it draws into a very unique sound that other brands make, yes, but Coca-Cola actually like committed to it and stuck with it. And so when you hear that, usually, generally, your brain will go to their brand.
And your expertise is absolutely mashing up with the rise of voice tech these days. How do you use it?
Well, I do a lot of different things. I write it, of course. I also consult on it because it's such an obscure thought right now that I actually kind of sit with brands and work with them for several months on end to try and understand what sound would mean for them because it's not something that you can just go, this is what your sonic branding is. Every company and every brand is different. And so they really have to think about it. And I can't decide for them because I'm not that brand. They need to come to that conclusion with kind of a little bit of hand holding. And then the other thing that I do, because it's such an obscure thought at this point, is I also educate. So right now I have a course that you can find at soundandmarketing.com, and it's called Sounds, Power, and Influence in Marketing. And I hope by the end of the year to have two more courses, one on what is sonic branding, and the final one this year would be about sensory marketing.
Wow. Wow. So what is the project that you're most proud of?
Um, I like working with companies. I do like creating sound, but to get to that point with a company where they go, oh, I could sound like this, and it's not me talking, it's them starting to brainstorm, and I can see the wheels turning in their head, and they're thinking independent of my prompting. That's exciting. I love to see that because I have a knowledge of what sound and sonic branding and sound and marketing could be, but I can't envision something that's so close to them, you know? And so it kind of gives it its own new life outside of me. And it's really exciting to watch that happen.
Okay, so what is the funniest or the most awkward thing maybe that happened to you as a sound designer?
I was trying to think of that, and I don't have anything awkward per se. But I think the thing that was the funniest to me was that I came along a company and they needed some functional sound, and I wrote three draft ideas and sent it over, and they said we like the second one, and I go, well, this is a draft. Let me finish it up. No, 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 we want this one. And so my draft ended up being the sound that they used, and that was kind of strange to me.
But also cool, it means that you were very successful.
Yeah, it was a one shot and they liked it. So that was good.
Yeah, it sounds good. What tips or advice would you give to people who want to enter this profession of sound design?
Research, research, research. There was a lot of research that I had to do when I started to look into it. I understood the idea of, music making a difference, but the idea of sound and thinking so much further than just a song, uh, there wasn't a lot of writing on it. I had to dig for a while. And now there's more and more articles and research and case studies that you can come across. But I wasn't finding a lot. It took a lot of digging. But really just go down that rabbit hole and see what there is because sound is so big. And if we limit ourselves to just the idea of music, we are limiting our possibilities in branding.
Mhm. What can you tell us more about Dreamr Productions?
Like I said before, I basically focus on three things. I create and I consult and I educate on the power of sound in marketing. I have a lot of different companies that I consult with and work alongside. Some industries that I'm really excited for in the sonic branding space is pharmaceuticals and e-commerce. I think that both of those industries have a really cool potential to excel in voice first. With e-commerce, I have no idea how they're going to do it, but with voice first, with smart speakers and smart technology, and the fact that we're looking at our computers less and less, how does somebody on Etsy stand out if people are just using their smart speakers? If they can crack that nut and figure out how to have a voice for themselves and be searched and found on smart speakers, I'm so excited to see what happens with that. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm excited for that.
Okay. So this conversation sounded very cool, which is cool because you're dealing with sounds. Okay, so Jeanna Isham, sonic brander and composer for Dreamr Production, thanks a lot for this fascinating talk.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and for everybody watching, go and check out CoCoHub.ai, where we bring chatbots to life and giving you all the tools, resources, and knowledge you need to know to create human-like experiences, also with voice bots and with audio files and with all the beautiful things that Gina is dealing with also. So stay safe, take care, bye-bye.